What's up, everybody? It's your girl Erica from the Classy Climb blog. Just coming from an appointment, and I had to do this. I did about 4 consulting calls a day. I've been on a couple different other, different meetings, Zoom call meetings, and I just had to do this one today. I was gonna save it, but I can't. All right. So listen, a lot of people are like, yeah, I want to make money out of these Facebook groups. I'm gonna go in there and chat. And here's the thing. Yes, Facebook groups you can make money if you're going in there with your mind on right. If you're going in there to conversate with a certain number of people and shut it off at a certain time frame, for sure. What Facebook groups are the best for, especially in 2020, is convincing me I'm not crazy. Whew, that's what the best they are for. Because 9 times out of 10, I'm like, am I crazy? Or is she crazy? And I'm just giving a couple of different examples for this show. I'm going to do a little bit of a mini rant, but I'm going to keep it nice. So everybody, if you could, drop your city and state in the chat and hit a 1 in the comments if this channel ever helped you. Listen, you don't got a super chat. I mean, I'd love it if you did. I'd love it if you support the channel. But at the end of the day, whether you cash app or super chat, this channel will go on, right? So again, here's the thing. Here we go. All right, I hope y'all ready. Hope you're ready. I'm not crazy when it comes to hiring people. And what happened is, this is a little test for you. Any career or job or business ideal you want to start, go out there and type it into the search bar of your Facebook group search. And what you'll find, the more you dig deep into a lot of these business ideals you have, is you find that people's crazy. Okay, people is crazy and it's not you, right? So prime example, I'm just going to use for several other companies as far as trucking. Trucking, people are like, yeah, you can make all this money, you can make all this money. There's several rules of thumb. Have 1 truck or have 50 trucks. Everybody who does trucking, they'll tell you 1 or 2, you're good. When you start wanting to get more, you need to be at 20 or 50. And it sounds crazy, but at any given time, the way that these drivers are, and it's not me, and I'm not crazy, they are extremely flaky. I've had more than 12 Facebook groups again, the office right now, I think we're in 150 groups. More than 12 people in the same day say the same thing. Yeah, I usually have to try to hire 6 guys to get 1 to show up to work. So if everybody's saying the same thing, it can't be a made up stat. It can't be this made up thing that people are talking bad about drivers. And let me be very clear as I start in the beginning of this. 20-30% of drivers who are guys who own their own truck, guys who show up to work all the time, guys who are sacrificing away from their families, they are the good guys. Those 30%. But that 70%, you're dealing with a roll of the dice. You're dealing with people who they fell into the career. That's the only career they could get out of high school or something they thought they want to do. A lot of times you'll talk to guys and they're like, well, I didn't want no boss. I don't want no one over me. Well, sir, essentially when you're in someone else's 80,000 pounds of truck and trailer, you are under somebody else. It's called the insurance man. It's called the company. And so the things you want to express to people is all money ain't good money, right? And everything that like it could be passive is not true, right? Without me stepping on toes, without me throwing shade, just being very transparent. And again, don't take my word for it. Don't be like, well, Erica, just because you have some driver's problems, don't take my word. I want you to use Facebook groups for what they're for. I want you to break out into your search bar. I want you to bust up into those commas. I want you to go look, and I want you to really examine the conversations you're having with people for whatever particular job industry you want to be in. And for us, we were doing for trucking. Well, then, we had one of our young guys go look, and that's in our wholesaling side of things, go look for other wholesalers to work with. Okay. And again, the thing of it is America has told you can start a business. It's so easy. Anybody can do. Any dummy off the street can start a business, right? So again, the bar of respect for business owners and people who start businesses are low, because the first thing Americans think is any dummy off the street can do it. A lot of this, get rich quick stuff on the internet have you thinking anybody can start a business. I can roll over and be breathing on an air machine, but I can have a business. And what it does is it takes it's just disrespectful. It's disrespectful. It makes you lower that level of respect you should have for your boss, makes you lower that level of respect you should have for starting a business. And so let's keep it 100. A lot of people out here doing things, investing in things they should not, because they don't have that patience. They do not have the financial patience for 2, 3, 4, 5 years. I've been doing business for over 10 years. I had someone get smart with me over the phone, and I had to control myself. It took everything within me not to be like, yeah, you can, and then grab their throat and rip it out. Like, it took everything. Like, I almost went full retrograde, right? And so what I've learned is sometimes people will do stuff that's unprofessional, and you have to, okay, and let them go. And let them go on. Because you can't lose your professionalism on that side. And so when it comes to, I just want to be very clear, when it comes to hiring contractors, when it comes to hiring drivers, when it comes to hiring anybody, any career you can think of where you're hiring people, you have to make sure that you establish the respect factor. One, because all these people out here, all these yodels out here think, man, anybody can start a business. My 87-year-old grandma can start a business. Yes, in theory, in America, yes, you could. In theory, yes, you could. But through actual, actual playing things out, no. Because a lot of people don't have the resources. A lot of people don't have the time. One day somebody watched me make all these phone calls. They're like, oh my God, I couldn't do that every day. And I go, but honey, that's kind of how it is. You have to do it until you get systems in place where you don't have to do it. So you have people out here who will make no money. They're not making no money, but yet they want to tell you how to run something. Boy, bye. Again, people have gotten very comfortable insulting people. And that's because the internet has made it that you don't get punched in the face enough. Now, in the Facebook groups, you want to use them like you use Bigger Pockets or any of these things. You want to go in there. You want to say, this is who I am, and this is what I'm looking for very clearly. And don't misrepresent yourself. See, this is the problem, I would say, for a lot of the real estate people. They go in there, people saying they're investors. You talk to them, they really don't have no money. They really aren't investors. They're wanting to learn off your dime and off your time, okay? Or you start talking to people who they know a little bit, but they don't know enough to be dangerous. That's the thing, right? So again, you use Facebook groups and you clarify what you do in the Facebook group, like clarify what it is, who you are. If you're a business person, what do you do? And then from there, you go and you seek out certain particular questions. And again, I've talked about this in several of our classes, our live trainings, and I'll go deeper in the RAS 20%. But for most people, you understand, you can use Facebook groups to make money every day. There are people who will wholesale and put stuff on Facebook Marketplace, put stuff in Facebook groups. They'll make money because really business boils down to relationships, but there's a hierarchy in those relationships. And that's what people don't like. People don't like realizing that, yeah, you're not in charge here, yo. That's just how the cookie roll. Now, part of why I use Facebook groups this way, because people say, man, you're always on Facebook. But I'm not, though. I'm always in Facebook groups, talking and chatting and doing business and getting leads, right? Anytime we're on Facebook in the daytime, we want 30 to 50 leads. That sounds like a lot, but for the RAS 20% people, I'll go inside the class and I'll break it down more. But any day we're going to spend 4 or 5 hours on Facebook, we want leads, joining our email list, coming over to our whatever platform we have, we want them over there. So I'm just using, for example, wholesalers that work for us in the Central Texas or partner with us. We're going to reach out. Oh, is Skynet messing up? Let me know if Skynet's messing up, y'all. Refresh if it is. If it's not, let me know. So what you want to do is you want to reach out on a daily basis and get that 30 to 40 to 50 leads, depending on the category you're looking for, into your emails, into your pipeline, into people you're going to connect with. Okay, so if it's real estate, that's everything you need to be talking about is real estate related. But you need to clarify what it is and what you have to offer. Every time, clarify what it is and what you have to offer. This will save you a lot of time and a lot of money. Okay, that's one. Number two, if you go into groups and you make a statement. And people are going to ask you to back up your statement, y'all. They're going to ask you to back up your statement. Now, what does that mean, back up your statement? If somebody says, well, this is about blah, blah, I think this about trucking or whatever, and you go in and go, well, I'm this. Well, who, how do you know? Well, I managed 10 trucks, and this is what might be my experience over the past year. Already, social proof, experience. You're done. You're done. See, and a lot of people on the internet feel, because they feel like their opinion is valued, they should say something. Because they feel they're smart, they should say something. And that's incorrect. That's incorrect. I don't want to hurt your feelings, but 2020 and 2021 should have awakened some of y'all that facts don't care about your feelings. They don't care. They don't care. Okay? They don't. And so, I was in a back and forth with someone. They were like, "Oh, well, that's just your experience with drivers." Yeah. I don't know anybody like that. And I go, well, how many trucks are you running? None. How many drivers do you know? 2. Who are they? My cousin and my brother. Okay, so then already your argument is invalid. You don't own any company. You feel this way. It's not valid, because I can go show you 100 screenshots, 200 different messages from people who are company owners who are saying the same thing. Now, let me be very clear. Can you make money in trucking? Yes. Don't let anybody tell you I said otherwise. I don't want anybody coming over here trying to bring me smoke. Can you make money in trucking? Yes. What's the ideal scenario? 1 truck where you're the driver. Or if you're not the driver, you have a great relationship with that 1 driver. Right now, if everything burned down and I had 1 truck left over, there is 1 driver I will always work with him, and I'll do whatever I can to work with him, because he's loyal and he's consistent and he is a driver. And he don't facts don't care about your feelings. He'll drive. And so, people may say, well, Erica, that's your opinion. No, it's based on facts. We can go into hundreds of Facebook groups and every company saying the same thing. They're all telling you, you can make money. This is correct. You can make money. Yes, you can. But regulation's high. Insurance is high. And driver turnover is every 90 days. That's average. So when I tell you 30% of drivers, good dudes, usually owner operators, good dudes, solid dudes, taking care of their family, good dudes. But that other 70% is on some hot again, not just my opinion, hundreds of people who hired him saying the same thing over and over and over and over. Receipts matter. Receipts matter. It matters. Okay? Same thing when it comes to hiring people. When everybody on the internet saying the same thing, that people, if you don't put screenshot monitor on your computer, people will go and be on Facebook all day. People will go and be on YouTube all day. People will bullcrap and not do their job all day. It's not just my opinion. Hundreds of people are saying the same thing. Hundreds of people have receipts and facts and data. Right? So again, people got to be on top. Come on now. And Francois, see, being a CEO doesn't mean micromanaging people. Being a CEO is here. Being a middle manager, which we talk about, which is stressful, that's what a middle manager does. A middle manager sits on top of some of those people, right? That's what a middle manager does. Does everybody understand that? Right? Again, engineering cannabis, I get what you're saying. I'm not trying to be funny. Totally not trying to be funny. It's just a numbers game, and it's no disrespect. It's just like with dating. It's a numbers game. Sometimes you meet a couple that are cool. Sometimes you meet a couple that aren't, right? A lot of what you're going to see in the industry, period, is 2 of the biggest ways that people have solved this problem. And I go in multiple groups and contact people daily, and we have the same conversation. They've hired foreigners, or they paid for a guy or girl to go to school. And if they don't finish driving for them for 1 to 2 years, they will charge them for that school out of their paycheck. That's it. That's it. Why? Because honestly, with people, you sometimes have to train them from the ground up. You have to train them from the ground up, because learned behaviors are dangerous. Someone learns bad behavior and they drag it from every company they go to. That's something you're going to see out here. I want y'all to be very clear, right? You keep seeing learned behaviors in multiple companies that are bad behaviors. This is why people make a joke to why do people want to hire young people when they come out of college? It's because they can train them from the ground up. They don't have to deal with somebody who's 30s, 40s, and have learned bad behavior that they will bring to your company. Yeah, they bring experience, but they also bring what? Bad behavior. Bad behavior. This is not me making this up. This is facts. This is anybody who's tried to hire people. This is anybody who's interviewed 100 people, and you get out of 100 people, maybe 5 to 10 that are solid. Right? This is true. Just because you can start, I mean, you can sustain it. This is the thing. A lot of people that you talk to just go because we put out this mantra that it's so easy to start businesses. You know, a half dead person could do it. A caveman could do it. Right? We put so much disrespect on the actual business owner. Right? Right? We put so much disrespect there. And you kind of like, oh, that's anybody can do. I can quit this job today and start a business. But that's not true, because look on the internet right now. There's so many people searching for how to quit their job. There's so many people trying to figure out how do they structure a business. So I'm not saying people are stupid. I'm not saying they're incapable. I'm just saying use Facebook groups to educate yourself before you jump out on some of these ideals. Bennett's Elliott Trucking Up. There you go. Exactly. Good drivers are owner operators or drive for private fleets. All the rest usually have poor work habits. And I when I heard this, I said, oh man, y'all making that up. But I've learned, and I've learned the difference of what a guy is a company driver and a guy isn't. Some guys just want to show up and be in the seat. Well, I drove 5 hours today. I'm going to stop. I mean, like, literally. Do you know what I'm saying? Again, you're right. Some jobs are just filler, right? And so sometimes what ends up happening is if a job is just filler, that usually means you're at a bigger corporation. And that's probably one of the first jobs to go. But I can tell you now, most jobs are started at smaller companies because they spill over from the workload of someone else, right? The HR person had too much workload. The admin person had too much workload. The social media person had too much workload. This person had too much, and so then it created another job because the first person couldn't handle it, right? So true. As a manager, I always ask for a young person with less bad habits to train up. 100% correct. This is the thing. Again, I want y'all to understand. Don't be in Facebook groups all day, laughing it up, chatting it up, joking it up, memeing it up. You can do that. But if you want to use Facebook groups to make money, I'm going to just tell you, come in there, identify yourself, right? Identify yourself, identify what you're looking for, or state your question. I've been in Facebook groups where people are literally like, can somebody help me? Can somebody mentor me? Can somebody do it? And people will be like, for free? No. And people be like, I can't believe y'all so mean to them. You want a grown person running a full-fledged business to stop what they're doing, to mentor somebody for free so that person can go off and run their own company. Come on, y'all, make it make sense, baby. You can't mentor somebody that ain't doing nothing. That's just the facts. You cannot mentor people who are not making strides to do something or be something. That doesn't add up whatsoever in any book. Oh, for sure. For sure. For sure. For sure. Like, I think oh, it's so simple. But again, a lot of times the reason you think it's simple is you've already seen somebody in a 3-year process, 3, 4, 5-year process. There you go. Hardest thing you ever done, for sure. And so I want that to be clear. Because a lot of people are like, oh, I don't be on Facebook. I don't deal with Facebook. I don't do this or that. And I'm going to tell you right now, I used to be that way. Like, I ain't dealing in these groups. I'm not dealing with people. But what ended up happening is I learned so much about the general population. Now, let me just be very clear. I can tell I'm a very select person. I only kind of talk to certain type of people, only talk to other business owners, only kind of go to certain seminars. You just have to manage your energy and your time. So for me, Facebook groups, at first I'm like, this is a waste of energy and a waste of time. And so what I started doing is coming in there with purpose. Here's my question. Here's my statement. Here's my this. Hey, I went to one Facebook group and people saw it in my Middleman's Millions class. I went to Facebook group and asked, hey, I need a plumber and a roofer. Call this number. Literally 2 hours later, 45 numbers. So when people sit there and say, I can't find a contractor, I can't find this, I just found 40. So again, you can, so again, you can make money from Facebook groups. You can make money in there. You can make connections in there, right? And so you just have to really have to be on top of it, because what ends up happening is you'll let them hours go by and you're in there chatting and laughing it up. And that's not what it's for. You're in there to get in and out. Connections equal money. Relationships equal money. Yeah, this is true. Some people are, for sure. But again, to all life, there's balance, right? But again, I just want you to understand that, like, if you're in 100 Facebook groups and everybody is telling you a particular thing, it's not that it's untrue. It's true. It's true. Again, when it comes to hiring, a lot of you want to start jobs or companies. Again, prime example, I had somebody who was like, yeah, all these groups are saying I have to spend like 500 to 1,000 a month in my marketing. And I said, well, how many groups have you been in? And that was his assignment before he called me back again. He went in all these groups and everybody was saying the same exact thing, that they spent about $500 to $1,000 in marketing and investing for real estate before they got true leads. And immediately people were like, he was like, oh, I didn't believe it, but now I see it, right? Because if hundreds of people who actually have results, who are actually making money, are telling you this, because even if you say, Erica, I don't have any money to spend, even if you drive for dollars, you and a couple of your friends drive for dollars and try to use a deal app machine in a group of friends, you're going to still have to pay for gas. You're still going to have to pay for those postcards to go out. And that's the thing. People are trying to figure out a way for them to spend no money and make a lot of money. See, that's the thing. If you want to do no money and make a little money, nobody has a problem with that. But you want to spend $0 and make 40, 50 grand. It's like, come on, man. This ain't the lottery. This ain't gambling. It's a nice motorcycle. This too. This is very true. Which contractors use, which ones not to use. Again, yeah. People go out here and do, well, I read the BRRRR strategy. Okay, you read it, but have you been in enough groups with enough people? Have you been to enough RIA groups and see where some of those people aren't doing BRRRR? Because there's not enough margins in some of these properties, right? So again, my biggest thing I want people to understand is underestimating a business, underestimating hiring is dangerous. How much energy, how much time, how much everything, right? It kind of gets out of balance, right? So right now it's about to be December, right? And then what? A few more days, it'll be December. We only got about 31 more days left in the year. And, I started seeing people offering $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 sign-on bonuses to get people to come to work. What does that tell you, right? And so if you think you're going to, no, I'm not going to offer everybody no money. Do you really think that's going to work? You're going to be the only contrarian to what's going on? So again, I want people to understand that, like, use these Facebook groups to read the temperature in the room. And there's a guy called Angry Cops, right? And I'm going to be honest, there's a whole genre here on YouTube where it's a bunch of people doing cop reactions to dash cam stuff and criminals and like angry military guys. They're usually white guys, kind of like the beard, goatee, glasses, prepper look, gunfighter, contractor clothes look. And those channels get almost 1 million views. It's a whole little segment, a whole little world out here in YouTube. And I was on Facebook, and I wouldn't have known it if it wasn't for a Facebook group. Oh yeah, talk to this guy. He does this area, and I'm like, So the guy makes so much money off YouTube and posting his stuff on Facebook that he takes that cash and he bought rental properties with it. And he bought a flip, and then he did a whole series talking about that crack house. Now he's in a part of New York where ain't no white people. So I want to say he sure is not the best house. But again, that just shows you, like, these are things I would have never picked up on if it wasn't for a Facebook group and just learning different people's businesses. Oh my God, are you for real? Had a plumber take 8 months to complete a job that was supposed to take 2 weeks. I mean, good gracious, self-aware. Did you already give him money, or what was going on there? Go tell us some more of that story. Again, the best course to get from me are the ones that depend on what your skill is or what you're doing. I'm telling you, like, don't sleep on Facebook groups, but like, don't be in there and get reckless. But I just want to really do that video because I was gonna come on here and rant, but I said, let me calm down. You don't have to rant, Erica. Just be calm. But I just had to tell you. I mean, literally, you go in these Facebook groups and you chat with other business owners, people that are clearly business owners that you can Google and research, and you can find them on LinkedIn and everything else. True business owners, not a guy who hit a lick once or twice a year, think he's like getting away with it. True business owners, and then you kind of get a flow of what's going on in the market, right? Like, just seeing Airbnb, like, because I'm in a bunch of Airbnb Facebook groups, that's why I know people's numbers of how well they're doing with Airbnb, and they're buying more, and they don't, they're excited about Airbnb. They're not like, well, I'm thinking about it, but I'm waiting on the 2021 crash. Maybe if 2021 it crashed. Man, these people out here making their money now. Okay. And again, determine when it's time for you to start your business. Determine when it's time for you to invest in real estate. But I'm going to just tell you, life goes on. Investments happen every day. What's an alternative way to get financing for home repairs? Other than what, the BRRRR strategy? I mean, it's going to be literally, if you haven't got the Get Funding Business Funding course, there's the Get Funding Business course on my website. Literally, you can go on there, get half off with the code fall 2020 and go grab it, because we talk about ways for you to break down how to get lines of credit, lines of unsecured credit, lines of vendor credit, how to stack up your racks on racks to use in your business. Because that question already is like the main purpose of that whole class, right? So again, and then you have to understand too, depending on the contractor, some of these contractors let you make payments, but trust and believe they will put a lien on your house, depending on the level of contractor. So that's just, we'll have some more conversation like that. He says, you are a lot of knowledge, but most of us don't know how to apply it to our ideas or business. Well, go back and watch this video from the beginning. Essentially what I said is, when you go inside of these Facebook groups, and again, depending on what your business is, you would go in there, you state your name, your city, what are you trying to accomplish? And 9 times out of 10, it's like a magnet. It's like a moth to a flame. People go search out other people who are doing what they need to do. Now, be careful. That's also how sometimes people with the scam try to get you. But if you go in about 12 to 25 Facebook groups and kind of state your name, state your business, state what you're looking for, like a very clear, concise question, 9 times out of 10, hundreds of people answer your question. And that's just the same with the credit repair groups. I'll go in there. I haven't been in those in years, but I started going back in there just seeing what people were talking about. And it's the same old. People come in there like, my credit bad, I want to do this. And then they expect people to answer with super patience like they're a child. It's like, you're not a child. Like, this one lady was like, well, I really want somebody to help me do my credit, but I can't afford to pay anybody. Nobody will help somebody for free. And literally everybody's comment was like, honey, there's a whole free DUI book inside the group. There's hundreds of, YouTube videos on how to do it yourself for free. You don't want to do it for free. You want someone to do it for you for free. Right? So again, it's one of those things of you have to first clarify what are you trying to accomplish in business and in life. What type of business are you trying to start? And then from there, you're going to go into that space because you want to be inundated with people who are in your same space. Now, what do you mean same space? If usually when you go talk to somebody that's in real estate, all the guys and girls they know are in real estate. Usually when you talk to somebody in credit repair, all the guys and girls they associate are in credit repair. When you go over here, somebody's in trucking, everybody they know is in trucking or has some trucks or has some part-time trucks or whatever, right? You want to be that inundated. You want your Rolodex to be that thick because let's be honest, if you're an employee, 9 times out of 10, the 10 people you know are all employees. Just being honest. That's usually what it is. So you want to go establish what you want to accomplish in business, go in these groups and speak that, put that in a statement. People will either meet you where you are or above. Same thing in Bigger Pockets. When I go into Bigger Pockets, hey, I'm in Austin, Texas. I am trying to get, I'm just going to use different examples. Property manager in Cleveland, boom, right? Or I'm trying to get contractors in Cleveland, boom. I'm trying to get more cheap houses in Cleveland, boom, right? You want to state where you are, state who you are, what are you looking for? People will flock to you. Why? Because people's natural instinct is to look for people like them, look for people they can help, and look for people who can help them. Again, the biggest thing y'all will ever learn with starting a business, if you don't get no other concept in your head, is it's not about you. Like I made a whole marketing video for the No King Makers course that's coming out on Black Friday. Literally, it's not about you. None of this is about you. Whatever your customer wants to hear, your client wants to hear, people that want to work with you want to hear, it's about them. It's completely about them. And the way you get your money is helping them solve a problem. So if somebody has a problem, right? Your goal is, I want to get money from this situation. Let me help them solve it. That's the number one thing you're going to be doing, is working your way back to how do you solve their problem. So, and Sean, D Brown said he took cash advances from his credit cards, right? So you may not have credit cards. You have to figure out where you are in that spectrum. What do you have available to work with you? Listen, Stephen James, tell him, baby, tell him. Listen, the number one thing I heard of. Always looking for nothing and get mad when they get taken advantage of. Right? And so again, one of the biggest books I'll ever recommend for y'all is 48 Laws of Power. Please go read that book and then go read it again and then go read it again. 9 times out of 10, whatever problem you're having with a coworker, a boss, left, right, center, it's in that book. It's in that book. It is. It every little bit of thing you can think of is in that book. It's about spot on. And everybody's like, oh, those are generic. Now let's spot on. Okay. When you go looking for nothing, looking, right? You don't want to pay anything. You don't want to put any money out of pocket, but you want to get, again, it's called Takers and Givers. There's a book called Takers and Givers. And who actually wins in society are people who do a bit of both, give and take. The people who just take, they never win like they think they do. The people that give, they usually get into a position of like, well, I'm always helping people and no one's helping me. And that's that sabotage help, where they want you to feel bad because they helped you and you should always come back and help them. You know what I'm saying? So, again, that's 48 Laws of Power. Always, I don't mind recapping the show because people come in later, right? There's like 150 people here. All I ask for y'all to hit the like button. I ain't even like hit the chat, super chat me, cash at me. Like I ain't even doing all that, right? Because at the end of the day, I'm still going to get paid off of this, right? Because there's somebody who's watching this who's going to go buy courses, buy books, buy consults. They're going to work their way into my conversation, right? Like this week, and for the next 2 weeks of the 31 days of Christmas, there's like 25,000 unanswered comments on our YouTube channel from all these videos. So me and the staff were like tackling them and just seeing what people are asking. So again, you help Zig Ziglar, you help enough people get what they want, you'll get what you want. I was in a group called Successful Thinkers, and the motto is, how can I help you first? That's right. How can I help you? Because listen, you help enough people get what they want, you'll get what you want. And don't be greedy. 48 laws of power. Somebody tried to be greedy with me, and it's coming back to bite them, and that's okay. Because then at the end of the day, I won. I'm like, okay, thanks. Again, yes, this is exactly what I'm saying. State who you are, where you are, and what are you looking for. People like simple. I hate to say this, but like people like putting people in boxes, and they want to figure it out quickly. When I sit here and tell people, yeah, I'm a YouTuber, I have trucks and I have this, they're like, whoa, too many things, right? They can't process it, right? I remember this one guy said, well, what's your real business? Honey, YouTube business is a real business. And what's happening is now, as YouTube has gotten more mainstream, people really see it as a real business. They realize they kind of understand some of the background stuff, but not always. Don't outshine the master. Mac, honey, I've been in situations, I've been at events, and honey, number one thing, don't outshine the master. You can know more, be smarter, and have more money, but you don't say it. You just sit there and go, okay, cool. Like, just nod your head, just roll with it. Every dog has their day. Some days ain't your day. You know what I mean, kind of thing. Egos writing checks. They can't cash it. It's true. 48 laws of power. Boom. Hit that like button, people. Thank you. I try to brush the hair here and there. There you go. This is very true. You cannot. Thank you, Marigold. Thank you. I appreciate it. But I just wanted to do this video because I was going to rant so hard today. I was going to be so mad because, again, I just saw it like 5 times in a row today where 4 or 5 people got into trucking. Yeah, I'm having a hard time getting drivers. I'm like, yeah, because what you thought is I saw somebody else do it and they ain't that bright, so I can do it. And people won't be honest, but that's what they thought. Let's be really, really honest. They don't think you like, there's a book called how come that SOB is rich and I'm not, or something crazy like that. It's by Robert Sherman. Somebody can check it in the comments for me. But it basically talks about right side up, right? Right side up and upside down, right? I'm just paraphrasing. Right side up is the guy who always does everything right. Like, I'm doing everything right. I'm doing everything right. I'm doing everything right, and yet things aren't working out for them. Then the guy over here who's taking a little bit of risk or doing things sideways, and it's just cash flowing for him, cash flowing him, cash flowing for him, right? And what happens is the right side up, and I'm gonna say this, and I know I'm gonna get the heat from the manosphere, and it makes towels, and I'm okay with that. They can call me fat and all kind of crazy stuff, but again, they at home eating chili in their basements. I'm not worried. Again, I did all the right things. I deserve this. That is a dangerous, entitled mindset. I'm a good guy. I go to work. I have a house. I have a car. I deserve a hot model. Like, that doesn't equate. It doesn't equate. But we live in a society that people think they are doing the right thing in the right order. They deserve a reward. This is what our school system has taught people, and it's dangerous. Because right now, what you're dealing with in America is a lot of people who, I did the right thing. I worked a job. I put money in my 401k. Why am I not winning? And they're angry. There's a book called Rage Inc. RAGE Inc. INC. And what's happening is these people are like, every day they're like rage momming. They mad. Every time you turn around, they mad because they're truly mad at their life, but they can't say that out loud, right? Because then their choices would have been wrong. And again, it's the entitlement. And we can go with women on it the same as well. Women is the same with women, right? I did this, I deserve this. No, you don't. That's not how life works. Okay? I don't. I don't. There's a running to saying about apps were 12 years ago. Shark Tank says if you want to sell me an app, sell it to me 6 years ago. So you pretty much mass production apps. You can pay somebody about $1,000 or $3,000 to produce you the app. Plenty of websites on it. My favorite is stay away from the unlucky. Listen, there were a 3-year window in my life where every time you turn around, it was something. And I was very unlucky. And even Bobby Womack has a song to nobody wants you when you're down, right? Old song from Bobby Womack. And I'm telling you, because you know why? It's an air to them. They're down, something's happened to them, something keeps happening to them. They never can get out of the funk. It's when they internally decide no more and do a 180-degree something different, that's when their life changes. That is the true story of stay away from the unlucky. Because it's always something, but what's the always something? Them. Something's always happening to them. It's them. They're always losing a job. It's them, right? When you go to them and you say, maybe you should get a different career. Maybe you should get a different, tech degree, something. And then it's always an excuse why they won't do something different. I'm always finding these bad women. Where are you finding the women? Right? Like, I'm always finding a bad man or the guy that's not good or this or he ain't working. Okay, sis, it's something in this equation is always the same. Who is always the same in this equation? It's you. So we got to do something different to get different results, correct? We got to start going to new places. We can't keep going to the same hole in the wall and thinking we're going to get new people out of the same hole in the wall. We can't keep going over to the Fast Eddies and don't like what happens, okay? Got to go do something different. You know what I'm saying? People play dumb. And that's in 48 Laws of Power too, like where people play like, oh, people try to play you. Is it still working? Okay. Let's see. It's never their fault. Harry Hippie is the perfect song. Harry Hippie, my grandma used to listen all the time. I was like, what in the world? What's up with this song? Harry Hippie is a song of a heroin addict. I'm just going to be honest. And Harry Hippie, he's like, I want to help a man when he's down, but I can't help him if he's laying on the ground. Now, again, these hippie, passed out heroin, right? And then it talks about Harry Hippie's lady. She has a perfect story. Boy, and you just want to help her and them kids, and you want to help a man when he's down. Again, but they got to help themselves. So again, Harry Hippie's a perfect example of that. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. There you go. If you deserve it, why have you not obtained it? Right? I'm a king. Okay, well, okay, king, show me some kingly behavior. You're a queen, show the queenly behavior. You're a queen. Okay, let's show it. Show it. I've been out here in the world. It's never their fault. It's never their problem. They can never take accountability. It's always cousin, mama, sister, brother. You'll talk to people and they'll tell you about a story that happened to them at 18 years old and they damn 45 years old. Are you kidding me? I'm going to tell you this right now. In the Christian community, you have a lot in the 1980s and 1990s, they had this kind of weird time frame where they're like, if you just pray for the spouse you want, you will get it. Now, the church went back and apologized and like, hey, that's not true doctrine. Like, we shouldn't have been telling all these teenage kids that. But you got people that are Generation X, let's just be honest, it's Generation X above me. Generation X is 40 to 59. Millennials are 39 to 23 years old. And so you'll talk to people and they're Gen Xers. They ain't never been married. They ain't never 45, 50 years old, men and women, they ain't never been married, no kids. And you're always like, what's going on? And they go, well, the church told us, if we prayed for this particular spouse, we would have it. And they're like, baby, you're 45 years old. You're a grown ass man. Like, when do you stop blaming something that happened when you were 14 years old and 16 years old on somebody else? It is time to take accountability. You are now 45. What do you want to do with the rest of the 40 years? If you got that, a lot of you got 30. Some of y'all got 20 years and don't realize it. You know what I'm saying? Just being honest. And so what do you want to do with that? I mean, I'm just telling you one of the examples, but I've met girls who are 42. I'm going to get married. And I'm like, well, honey, we got to do 180 degrees opposite of that. Like, I know 5 women who are 41 who are pregnant right now, which is mind blowing. But, they had to like turn it. Like, girl, if you're going to do it, you got to turn it. Thank you, Sienna, for the $10 super chat. Cash App, I appreciate it. Phone's pinging up there. I see you guys. But again, if you want to, you know what I'm saying? If you want a different life, you're going to have to push. You got to birth this thing. They be talking about birth that life. Birth it, baby. There you go. You'll keep being at the same thing. Like, there's a sermon. I don't like Joyce Meyer, but I had to repeat it. She said, you'll keep going around that same mountain over again. And it's true. You'll find somebody's life in 2-3 years. They're doing the same stuff over and over. And they cannot figure out why. They cannot get past point in their life. They can't get past this point in their life because they will not let go of things. They will not move past, and they will not take accountability. Oh, Lord, it done jumped. I done missed it. I don't know where it's at. Okay, I think I found it. They find them at the club. In the sea of variables, you are the constant. That is correct, Minnie. That's correct. See, people don't want to hear that, though. If everything else is the same, right? You talk to some of these women in their 40s, okay, honey? If everything else has been, it's you. Talk to some of these men. Let's be honest, y'all. You don't look like you're not 25-year-old strapping, strong young man anymore. You're in your 40s and 50s. Adjust. Do what you must. Oh, that's a tough one. Do you think this flu has created more entrepreneurs or made more broken people? Because it seems like people acting like they're too good to offer value or offer more. I think, honestly, what it's created is a wake-up call. And we don't see it fully yet, but you'll see it next year and the year after. A lot of people who were trying to have Instagram life, like, again, just go Google the article of the girl who spent like $10,000 flying all these places on a credit card so she could have Instagram life. Like, not even to be happy, not even to just go and visit and experience the place, but to have Instagram pictures and then come home and be mad that she's got this debt. Again, a lot of these travel blogger, passport bro men, you go watch their channels, they have come home. A lot of these people living in tiny homes, I posted in the community section, they have come home. They have moved into bigger houses, but they still have this channel that was so popular because it was talking about tiny homes. They done made 5, 6, 7, 8 grand a month off YouTube that they had to keep making videos about something they don't even live. The girl I shared the video with 3 days ago, she ain't even lived in her tiny home for over 1.5 years. She been in a whole nother house with her brand new husband and pregnant. And she just had to finally do a video and say, y'all, my baby's due December 24th. I ain't been in this house 1.5 years. I know y'all think I'm fronting, but I ain't been here. Because people grow, people progress, people move. What's happening is people are getting a wake-up call. So the guy or girl who is overspending, they got a wake-up call. The guy or girl who are in debt, they got a wake-up call. People got a wake-up call. That's what happened. So will it produce more entrepreneurs? No, but I think it'll produce a lot more husbands who are going to make more money and play video games less. I'm not even being funny. I'm not even being sarcastic. I'm seeing women make videos and post blogs where they're like, I lost my job and my husband is now really stressed and he's working a lot. Because there's only one person working. That's kind of what it is. That's how that game goes. Oh, always. Listen, watch out for the old dudes. The old dudes that are 60 and they got their money straight and they're talking to you. They know already what they want to say. But they're just trying to see where you at on it. See, you know what I'm saying? But Erica, I'm that different kind of king. See, there it is. There you go. Ooh, words we need to leave behind. Fair and what I deserve. Again, I have friends who have left the South where they were unsuccessful and moved to New York and live in a cardboard box like this big. And they're like, Erica, New York is so much better. It's so much better. I said, how? Halfway. Tell me the job you're working. Yeah, the same job you're working in the South. Yeah. But you live in New York, so you get to walk around every day because you have a 400 square foot apartment. And again, people are trying to inflate themselves in some way, somehow. And that's okay. But at some point, that wake up call will come. Prosperity gospel. Yeah. It wasn't just prosperity gospel. It was literally teaching these young people that like you need to pray for the spouse you want and what if you don't understand Christian culture, which I try to like because I cuss so much I don't bring it up as much, but like Christian culture, you will literally be in these church groups with the same teenagers, same middle schoolers, then you'll go to high school and y'all do young life. It's called young life. You do like middle school, high school, and then you'll do young life in college. And pretty much these people go off and partner with each other and get married and going out the game. So you'll meet all these people that are in these Christian groups. They're gone and married by 25, 22, right? They gone. They out the game. And they only isolate and circle the wagon around their own kind. So when you meet people in their 40s and 50s that weren't married, you go, what happened? Because that was used to be the norm where they would literally circle the wagon and everybody kind of went to these church groups and singles groups and they kind of whoop, whoop, quick married them off, right? And so you meet people and they start telling you that same story over and over. It's always someone else's fault. There you go, Ensway. Don't think I forgot Ensway. Called Kevin and told him about you. I said, Ensway giving me a hard time. Just saying. It's messy. Thank you. How much would you say we need to get started with before getting the full set of courses you offer? Well, I don't know. I mean, it depends on what you want to do. If you're trying to start Middleman to Millions course is service business oriented, right? But we are not the service business. We are the person who does the admin, who gets the job set up, who gets the marketing, who gets paid and cuts the contractor, or depending on what our blue collar worker is, the money. And Middleman to Millions, we just brought on someone who did $100,000 in 3 weeks in roofing. We had a person before that has an appliance business, boot camp business, appliance business, high end service. We had a person before that who has a cleaning company that talked. They live in Mexico and they've made like $26,000 from their cleaning company in DC. They're not even in that state. There's several other people inside the group that give examples. We've had Hood Estates Jamar come on, talk about property preservation. Again, Middleman's Millions course is for people who you're great with a computer, you know how to get on these apps, you know how to schedule and book appointments, you know how to follow up with people, and you get the contractors out there. Several people. I mean, right now I'm waiting on a couple people. We're going to see how their business goes, and then we're going to get more students to give testimonials inside the course so that other people can get help that are inside the course. If you want to have more of a mastermind field talk, chat it up with more people that are like-minded like you, I'd recommend the Rise of the 20%. We've got over 46 videos in there. Now, it does say 7. I already clarified why it says that. To mess up on think of this part, but it's like 46, 50 videos in there. We've got everybody and their mom in there. Credit Irene, Diamond Media credit. We got O'Neill credit and real estate. We got Flipping Houses Derek wholesaling real estate. We got Nas the Duru in there wholesaling real estate. We got so many people chalked up in there. We got Chase Tuning podcasting. It's just stacked. So I mean, it depends on what you're trying to do and what you're trying to accomplish. Kind of funny. He said, have you ever called a business and they pick up the phone like, hello? I mean, that's the thing. It's the small stuff, small repetition stuff. That's why whenever people call me and they get stuck, I'm like, hi, this is Erica Williams. They're like, hey, it's me. I'm like, yeah, I know. I'm still going to say it. You are not a 45. No, Stephen James. 40 to 59 is Gen X. If you're 45, you're a Gen Xer. And y'all are in trouble. Ooh, oh man. People can also never step and play their role. Everyone wants to be the star of the show, but that's not your role. That's just not you. Honey, they sliding into home plate. And some of these women are like, I'm gonna try for another one. I'm like, woo, sis. Hot, soft, get it. Absolutely, because woo, it's work. God bless you. Listen, you already know. You already know. See, again, and let me be very clear, Francois, what you're describing here is a dysfunctional church. You're describing one of those pimp preacher churches. And I'm going to say something that's going to hurt everybody's feelings, but I have to say it. If your mother put you into one of those churches, this is where she felt her normal. See, they have healthy, normal, functioning churches with staff and people on board and volunteers and like raise money for Africa. We send 30 of our teenagers every year from our church to Uganda 3 times a year. We do all these very healthy, normal things. But see, if your mother put you in one of these little hole in the wall, pimp preacher, greasy talking, unnormal situations, that's where your mother felt safe. Because 9 times out of 10, a mother determines where the family goes for church, not the father. Let's just say that again. If these people talk about these pastors and these bad churches, take that up with your mother, because your mother felt normal there. She felt like this was a good thing. So see, people really, that's the real accountability, right? Because you got all these churches out here serving people, giving gifts, taking care of kids, bringing in orphans, and hiring folks, doing normal stuff. But you got these people always talking about churches like this. That's where your mother took you. I always tell people that when you want to talk about real sleazy churches, your mother chose that church. See, I'm going for your mama's neck. I don't even feel bad because we've talked about this. That's not normal. Uh-oh, I love the Middleman to Millions course. For those who don't have it, thanks, DJ Crime. Middleman to Millions course is a great course. Got started and seeing all that comes with the industry. Congrats. I know one of your subs, she's buying up Facebook groups like crazy. Who? I believe it. Good men, if that's their last hoorah, then they gonna do it. It's like being a man that's 50 and you gonna have a kid. If you a man over 50 having kids, you've already determined you may not see this one to fruition. This what you if you 50 plus having a child as a man, it's like I just want to have one. I may not live to be 65 and this boy actually be a grown man, but I had one. I mean, I know Grant Cardone talks about it all the time, how he's 61 and he still wants a son. And he says, I know better because that's not fair to the child. But there are people out there who do that. It's just like a man having a child late in life. It's like they sliding through last minute. Yo, Lisa just said her friend had a baby at 44. Woo! Girl, you 44. I remember being at somebody's, they were picking up their baby from the little thing at the church. And this woman came by, great here. And I was like, oh, you picking up your granddaughter? She's like, no, that's my daughter. I was like, whoa, girl, old, so old. Well, I'm not talking about your mom in particular. I'm just saying, when people talk about those type of church, I'm like, check with your mama. There you go. There you go. You got to get up and go with it. Believe him. You got to rock with it. There you go. I did. I said, yo, mama. There you go. Bishop Don Juan Church. They out there going to them funky little places. You need to look at your mama with a side eye like, you think this is good? Okay. Pastor John Gray, again, you have to look at people in the face. When they tell you, like, again, Jamal Bryant, the guy who keeps having kids, the black pastor keeps having kids out of wedlock, and nobody's blinking an eye. Yeah, stuff like that. When your moms go to them type of churches, you need to have questions because he thinks that's normal. Oh, for sure. So Sherlock Holmes, email our staff. I'm gonna send you the link to our new stock channel we have. we literally talked about 3 different videos this week. I talked about how Robinhood finally unlocked my account. I talked about the rainy green season and what's to come. But yeah, Sherlock Holmes. And for anybody in the stock part, we're eventually going to share that channel stuff in the community section, so it can kind of like y'all can see it. But it's something the channel I've been working on. That's just stocks. Yep, exactly. There you go. There you listen. Art of becoming. Okay, listen. Reverend do you wrong. That's right. So it said, I remember when the father of one of my kindergarten students came to pick him up, and all the kids thought it was his grandfather. He was 62, and his wife was 37. Listen, I'm gonna tell you right now, if you meet a woman, I'm gonna be careful about this, but I got to say it. All the men I've met who are in their 50s, 60s, and the woman's in her late 30s, she's never a hot beauty. She's never hot. She's never hot, and she's like I'm gonna take this train and roll with it. Like this, I've never met a dude who's late 50s and 60s and his wife is smoking hot that owns a business. I've been to many luncheons, many banquets, and 9 times out of 10, I would meet the wife would come and you'd be like, ooh, she got big boobs or fake boobs or something, but she was never like a beauty pageant in the face. She was just in her late 30s, 40s, and like, oh yeah, we had a kid. And you're like, congrats, yeah. You're like, never, never. Because if she was that hot, she'd have somebody in her 40s. It just is what it is. It's the law of nature. Like, get real, get real. So I've seen it. I mean, I really have seen it. It cracks me up every time I see it. I'm like, holy moly. Reverend do you wrong. That's right. Which course are you trying to get, Marigo? Are you trying to get the middleman to millions? I'm gonna have it in the links once this wraps up here. Mike said, hey, 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 hey. Hey, 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 my wife is hey, 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 my wife is hot. All right, Michael, I apologize. That man is simply trying, and this could be true. I mean, I just know one of the attorneys in Dallas that we do business with, his wife was like 30, 35. I think she's 35, and he's like 6. God, he's old. And but he looked like human growth hormone, Sylvester Stallone. That's what he looked like, but a lawyer. And he said when he married his wife, he thought, hey, I'm gonna do the little kids thing again. And she was like, he was basically said she said he was too old and she just wants dogs. And I mean, he says it. He ain't even saying. He's like, well, I thought I was gonna do a kids thing again, but I guess not. No, when you die, she will remarry. She's one of those Dallas, Texas blondes with the titties. Like, no, brother, when you die, brother, black men don't live that long. You know what I'm saying? She gonna go on about her business. Um, that's so true. I mean, it just is. Thank you so much, Sherlock Holmes. I appreciate that. When you went into trucking, did you get your CDL or just hire drivers? I did not get a CDL. I have no intention of getting a CDL. I mean, at one point when I had to go recover my trucks in January and February, I was like, damn, I'm about to get a CDL so I can go steal my trucks back, right? Or whatever I have to do. But I end up just using all the networks around me and calling all these people and recovering my trucks safely. But it's cost me. Like the trucking industry has definitely cost me a pretty penny. I've replaced 5 engines at this point in this year, and trust me, like, can you make money? Like every single thing you ever read out there, yes, you can make money. But the number one factor you guys are missing out on and you don't understand is the people. The people would make the truck make the money. So you got to deal with people. You got to find the right people to deal with. And honestly, at this point, you can go in hundreds of groups, unless it's like a family member, unless it's that man's truck, or you take somebody like I hate to say this, it sounds horrible. You find a guy, he just got out of jail, or he has life problems, and you put him in school and then put him in your truck. He's very loyal to you. And I've had 4 or 5 stories of people who literally every guy they put in their trucks is somebody that came out of jail. They put them through trucking school, and they're like, "Hey man, just pay me back to me over a year." and the guy is very loyal. The guys they have are very loyal in Dallas. So I mean, that's not being disrespectful. That's just being honest. Because what happens is after a while, these drivers are like, I made 100K, I'm cool, or I made 80K this year. I'm gonna sit down for a minute, or they quit jobs. They get flaky on people all the time, and it's like they have bad habits. They just have bad habits over years of working. So again, there's a list of questions you can ask your drivers before you hire them, but anybody can answer a question, right? You know what I'm saying? Anybody can answer a question, right? No problem. Good men, she did. She has like two of those little dogs. We are acting up all night. We are acting up too much. Listen, in San Diego, it's the beach. She just needs somewhere to live. That's all. He might die any moment. She gonna be straight. I'm just letting y'all know. Okay. So again, the original of this video was talking about the Facebook groups. But again, it's the same thing. I'll finish it out with that. Right? Well, others, that doesn't matter. Right? Because they've already shown articles that women in their late 50s and 60s don't even want to live with somebody else. They rather just live with other women. Right? In communally neighborhoods. Come on now. We've already seen that play out. I mean, people keep acting like that's something to be like, oh, so good, you got a young woman that you give your money to, yay! Like, come on, dude. Like nobody salutes that. Not even old men salute that. Come on, you're trying too hard. But the point of what I'm trying to say is, hey, enjoy that life. Work very hard. Give her your money. Have a good life. Listen, tell them, Mrs. Witt. Just there you go. My best friend is a convicted felon. He drives for a trucking company faithfully. It's a harsh truth. Yeah. I mean, and I hate to be that person. I hate to be that person, but I'm almost to the point. Um, I'm almost to the point where I may have to go, hey, oh, you just got out of jail? You need somewhere to live? You need somewhere? Let me put you in this driving school down the street for 4 weeks. It happens, right? Um, you did. Hey, you should. Sherlock Holmes, y'all over there following Sherlock Holmes. The more you listen. So Floyd, I'm gonna say it this way on that topic. People that are escaping out of New York and California are hundreds of thousands of people. So let's just say your town gets 50,000 people to it, and they all buy a home, and they just sold a more expensive home, and now they move to a cheaper home. They're going to have savings. Other people don't have savings. They're going to have a job that pays them to work online, right? They're going to have a better outlook than people who are living in the town locally. Like I will meet actual native Texans, and they do bad financially because the mindset. The person who moved here to come to Texas has a very positive outlook, looking for jobs, looking for opportunity. The person who's lived here their whole life usually doesn't. And anybody in Houston and Dallas, you can talk to people who've lived here their whole life. I will meet a black guy every couple of weeks from Dallas at events. Oh, ain't nothing to do up here in Dallas. I gotta move. Dallas? Dallas Fort Worth? Like you can just drive 5 miles down the street and get something new going on. Nah, so it's really a mindset issue. And with the crash, what a lot of people are talking about is inner cities in those states those people are leaving. Like there ain't gonna be no real crash in Charleston, South Carolina. Not Charleston, I would say Summerville, South Carolina, where the house is $75,000, where the house is 50K. There ain't gonna be no crash in Columbia where people are buying 40K houses. There ain't gonna be no real crash in places where houses are under 100,000. That's not really happening, right? So again, it's all about the money, right? It's all about the money, right? Um, and and people have their opinions, and there'll be a crash in, let's be really honest, in commercial, right? Because right now they're building apartments and they're sitting empty like ghost towns in some cities, right? Seattle has 16,000 empty units, apartment units. Those are where the crash is what they're talking about. But the real estate market last time when they really had the crash, they really tightened the reins on how they did when they approved you for a housing loan. See what I'm saying? Like they changed that up real quick. They didn't want to play that game no more. So you won't see as many. And again, remember at any given time, I really want y'all to be like, I want y'all to remember at any given time, you have 17 million vacant homes in America. 17 million vacant homes in America. The Bible does tell you to be fruitful in your old days now. 45 pregnant, do what you gotta do, girl. Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Sherlock Holmes, you should come on over to the other stock channel. We should have a chat over there. The insurance is 1,000 times better. I've had some drivers, do some sham for some other people, and I noticed their insurance was like $500 a month. It was like 1,000 a month for a truck insurance. It was crazy. It is. It is. Those convicts over 30 trying to make it money. Yeah, they're the best. Yes, I've noticed that. But there's an article. It's going around right now about over 65. It shows men over. It was crazy. They surveyed all these men over 60 and women over 60, and the men were willing to go get remarried and live with somebody. The women were like, no, just move into the old folks' home at this point, or into communal, apartment living kind of thing. And I thought the article was funny, but they're just done, right? Or they got grandkids, so they don't care. It's a different mindset by then. Hey, mindset is everything. No, not the shag haircut. I mean, but again, I've seen that. That thing is horrible. Please stop doing that. But no, I mean, literally, I'll go listen to Jason Black. I'll go listen to a lot of other YouTubers, and every day is some dude on there going, "Yeah, no opportunity here in Dallas." And the person, Jason Black, and the people in the car are like, "Dude, stop. First of all, you talking crazy because everybody else know that's not true. That's how you know it's a mindset thing." And, the CIA came out with a study that you can create your own reality. Now, not like, Matrix or nothing, but you can create your own reality. So no matter how much you tell this person there's opportunities all over Dallas, that person has already convinced themselves that they cannot get them. So stuff like that. That's the thing. I don't say the other channels on here because I don't want to mess up the algorithm. But Sherlock Holmes, hit me in the email. So anyway, but anyways, you guys, this is your girl Erica from Class on Bob. Been here an hour. It's late. I just had to go over that. I had to do that mini rant because it's important. I want y'all to understand. Go check out some of these Facebook groups. Talk to some of these other people before you make a decision on certain businesses you want to start and you want to invest in. Don't just take it from me like, well, Erica, you think that. Well, everybody over here is making all this. No, no, no. Dig a little deeper. Ask some better questions. But anyway, later, you guys.